Before the railroad reached the American Southwest in the late 1800s, the Colorado River served as a crucial transportation artery for the mining industry and military operations in the desert regions of Southern California and Arizona. Navigating this hazardous waterway in shallow draft paddle wheel steamboats demanded exceptional skill, courage, and ingenuity from the boatmen who worked its waters. Foremost among these brave river captains was Isaac Polhamus, whose long life and career spanned the rise and fall of Colorado River steam navigation. Welcome to another episode of the Southwest Desert. I am your desert frontiersman, Alan. Please leave a like or comment. For more desert adventures, hit the subscribe button. Born in New York City in 1828, Isaac Polhamus literally grew up on the water, working alongside his father on a Hudson River steamboat. At age 18, young Isaac joined the throng of Argonauts drawn to California by the discovery of gold. After an epic 327-day voyage around Cape Horn, he tried his luck at placer mining on the American River. But when a flash flood swept away all the supplies he and his companions had laboriously hauled in, Polhamus decided to go back to doing what he knew best. He hired on as a steamboat hand on the Sacramento River. By the early 1850s, sailing ships from San Francisco were making regular runs to the mouth of the Colorado, where they exchanged freight with shallow draft paddle wheelers for delivery to settlements and military posts farther upstream. In 1856, Isaac Polhamus relocated to the tiny steamboat landing at Yuma, Arizona, to take a job with George A. Johnson's Colorado Steam Navigation Company. At that time, Yuma's entire population could fit comfortably inside the settlement's only permanent structure, a 100 by 25-foot adobe building divided into 4 rooms. 2 of the rooms served as office and warehouse space for the navigation company, while the other 2 were occupied by the general merchandise firm of George F. Hooper and Company, together with his friend and fellow New Yorker David Neer, who became the steamboat company's chief engineer. Polhamus worked to establish Yuma as the key transshipment point for goods moving between San Francisco and the mines and military installations of the Gadsden Purchase lands. The deck crews of the company's paddle wheelers were made up entirely of local Native Americans, who were paid 50 cents per day. As the Native Americans could not count money, each crew member kept track of his days worked by tying knots in a string worn around his neck. On payday, the captain had to hand each man a separate half-dollar coin for each knot in his string. In addition to being a resourceful commander, Isaac Polhamus was widely regarded as the most skilled pilot in the Colorado River trade. He performed many notable feats of riverboat handling in the course of his long career. In 1859, battling the Colorado's powerful current all the way, he required a full 28 days to force the steamer Mojave upstream from Yuma to Fort Mojave, a trip he could easily make in the opposite direction in a single day. Father Paul Figueroa, a Yuma historian, recounts the story of how Polhamus once managed to navigate a particularly difficult stretch of rapids below Fort Mojave by running his steamboat through the canyon stern first, turning the vessel around midway, and continuing bow first to safety. By 1860, Polhamus and his friend David Neer had established themselves solidly enough to consider taking some time off to visit family and friends back east. They made the long overland trek to St. Louis by stagecoach, their progress impeded by an Apache attack in Arizona and a buffalo stampede in Texas. The journey took 15 days. The captain's longest voyage, however, may have been his tortuous trip to the altar. In 1865, Isaac Polhamus fell in love with Señorita Sacramento Sembrano, the beautiful daughter of a landed California family that owned a large cattle ranch along the Colorado near La Paz. The fact that Polhamus spoke no Spanish and his intended spoke no English was only the first obstacle the couple had to surmount. With no Catholic priest closer than San Diego, the captain ended up having to arrange for a padre to be brought to La Paz by stagecoach at a cost of $500. This at a time when a house could be bought for $200 and a cow for $5. The Polhamuses went on to have a long and fruitful marriage, raising a large family. The coming of the Southern Pacific Railroad to Yuma in 1877 meant the end of George Johnson's Colorado Steam Navigation Company, but Captain Polhamus simply went into business for himself. Despite rail competition, he continued to operate his own fleet of steamboats until the federal government completed a diversion dam across the Colorado in 1904, blocking commercial river traffic. Even after he retired from active steamboating, the captain still liked to take Yuma residents on festive picnic excursions up the Colorado to Picacho every May Day. On his 88th birthday in 1916, the town's Elks Lodge and other civic groups came together to celebrate their most famous founding pioneers' 6 decades of contributions to the development of Yuma and the surrounding region. Isaac Polhamus died on January 16, 1922, aged 94 years. In tribute to the captain who had given so many of their tribal members their first jobs a generation earlier, hundreds of Native American mourners lined the walls surrounding the Polhamus home. For 2 days and nights, the Native Americans kept a vigil, warming themselves by a bonfire and chanting softly. Inside the home, more than half a century's worth of logbooks, charts, and other river memorabilia preserved a vanishing way of life. Isaac Polhamus's Mexican-born wife, Sacramento, preceded him in death. The couple left a large family of children and grandchildren who adored them both. One of the captain's granddaughters left this moving recollection of the old Colorado River pioneer. Grandfather was rigid in character, firm, and his voice was deep, resounding. When he had something to say, it was said briefly, it was well worded and to the point, and always carried weight. He had the respect of all. Despite his stern outward demeanor, however, I found him one of the kindest, most lovable, and understanding hearts I have ever known, and I considered him the best companion a child could have. I hope you enjoyed this Southwest video. Please leave a like or comment. For further desert romps, hit the subscribe button.